I have delayed editing this video for as long as possible because there are things in this video that I need to talk about that I don't want to talk about, but I need to talk about. So I'm going to talk about grief and loneliness. No one talks about it, and I'm really tired of no one talking about it, not being able to relate to anyone about what I feel. I know other people feel this way too. I know no human experience is unique to me, and I just need to put this out here. So I took myself on a solo camping trip during the week of 4th of July, hoping to escape some really deep grief that's been coming up. But as we all know, wherever you go, there you are. So the first part of this video is me trying to be light and free and have fun. And the second part is me being really fucking real about how I'm actually doing. Hold on to your hats. Lived in this camper for 3 years, and this is my first trip in it. I've been living in a tiny house for the last 4 months, and this is my first trip this summer after being my camper. So, hey loves! I know it's me in a new car. Isn't that weird? Okay, bye lovers. I'm gonna go camping. Bye. I pulled over just to get the chips that I bought at Safeway out of the camper. These are Kettle Brand Chamoy limited edition. I'm listening to Charlize Sharon on Call Her Daddy. And oh my god, I love this queen so much. Wow, I had no idea that I love Charlize Theron this much. Okay. They're more tomatoey than I expected. They're fucking fire. Sweet, tangy, and spicy. Exactly like it says. Sweet, tangy, spicy. Chamoy. Got another 28 minutes. Let's go. Everything started out great. I stopped at Safeway, got groceries for my trip. I was listening to a great podcast. Scenery was beautiful. And then I got to my campsite and parked, and it hit me. I just parked. I'm just doing like one night solo camp trip. And this is actually my first night back in the camper since I got to California. Hi, I'm Marissa. I lived in this camper for like 3 years with my ex, but not really. I was kind of alone the whole time. Honestly, there is a lot of grief in like popping up this camper alone and just being at this campsite alone and knowing that this is something that I really have enjoyed doing with a partner and kind of just here to see if it's something that I really enjoy doing alone. I don't think I've ever shown you guys this camper. It's just been sitting in my aunt's driveway since I got to California in February. And since I've been living in the tiny house, I haven't really taken it out. I haven't really wanted to venture into this space. It's like kind of feels like a little time capsule of like the previous life that I had that I'm still processing. And yeah, it's a lot. So I'm gonna try and not let my crazy mind like take away this beautiful experience from me. Like I'm so lucky to be in the woods here and to be able to have this time alone to camp and experience a new river. I'm camping right by the Eel River. Yeah, I'm gonna try and not let my mind like totally take over this experience and prevent me from having like the best time possible. So, okay. My partner and I had parked that camper at so many different campsites for so many summers that I think as soon as I parked, I was immediately triggered. And as much as I had expected to feel a lot of grief, if you don't know me, this is my truck and my camper. I bought it with my ex, and I have a lot of mixed feelings about traveling in it, again, solo. I didn't really know what to do with the feelings once they did come up. Looking back, I think, why didn't you call someone? What made you think you had to deal with this grief alone? But who do you call in the middle of the day on a Wednesday to say, I miss my ex so much I feel like I want to die? It's a pretty big bummer to put on someone else in the middle of their workday. Try not to make my grief or my loneliness anyone else's problem but my own, because I know that my happiness is my responsibility. But where is the line between respecting other people's emotional capacity and isolating? I have not one single clue. Big tree trail. I'm going to the So I went to an Al-Anon meeting and shared because I knew people there would be able to meet me exactly where I was. When you grow up in the family disease of alcoholism, which I did, it's likely you will become somewhat emotionally unavailable and or attract emotionally unavailable people. That is certainly the case for me. Hence my inclination to self-isolate rather than share honestly how I'm actually doing, and my inability to think of one single person I could call when I'm struggling. This makes life feel extremely lonely at times. The only way I know how to get out of this mind trap of knowing I need to reach out to someone and not knowing who to call is by going outside. Outside always feels safe when I don't have the courage to show my face. And so, even though all I wanted to do was numb out and scroll on my phone or watch Netflix in bed, and don't get me wrong, I definitely did some of that on this trip, I came down to the river and found a way to be with my grief more comfortably.
Looking for flat rocks, looking for flat rocks. What can I skip? What can I skip? Any flat rocks for me to skip? This is the most satisfying shit. Look at this. Crumbles.
That one pretty. Found a dinosaur egg.
Just kidding, it's a rock. Big shark tooth guy. Let's see if we can skip him. Ooh, I did it.
I eventually went and laid down by the river. It was pretty crowded, which normally is not my vibe in the outdoors. I was envious of families playing in the water together and groups of friends sitting enjoying the shade. But on this especially lonely, grief-stricken day, it was kind of nice to be around people enjoying nature together. How do 6 adults coordinate their schedules so that they are all available on a Wednesday afternoon to go sit by a river? That is seriously a miracle in my mind. It's something that only happens in movies. It has never happened to me. I would love that to someday happen. So this is me manifesting. I read a little bit of Women Who Run with Wolves, and one thing I love about reading is the way that passages I need to hear will find me at the times I need to hear them. I opened to the chapter titled Battle Scars, Membership in the Clan. It reads, "Weeping creates a river around the boat that carries your soul life. Tears lift your boat off the rocks, off dry ground, carrying it downriver to someplace new, someplace better. There are oceans of tears women have never cried, for they have been trained to carry mothers' and fathers' secrets, men's secrets, society's secrets, and their own secrets to the grave. A woman's crying has been considered quite dangerous, for it loosens the locks and bolts on the secrets she bears. But in truth, for the sake of a woman's wild soul, it is better to cry. For women, tears are the beginning of initiation into the Scar clan, that timeless tribe of women of all colors, all nations, all languages, who down through the ages have lived through a great something, and yet who stood proud, still stand proud. All women have personal stories as vast in scope and as powerful as the Newman in fairy tales. But there is one kind of story in particular which has to do with a woman's secrets, especially those associated with shame. These contain some of the most important stories a woman can give her time to unraveling. For most women, these secret stories are her own personal ones, embedded not like jewels in a crown, but like black gravel under the skin of her soul." I figured today would be as good a day as any to share my secret. For as long as I could remember, I have believed that there is something wrong with me, that I'm more lonely than most people, that I'm too emotional, too sensitive. I have felt immense shame for my loneliness. And I'm finally ready to let that shit go. I have cried more in the last 4 months since leaving my ex than I've cried in my entire life. And I'm finally accepting that this thing that I thought was wrong with me, the thing that made me so different from anyone else, my capacity to feel, is actually my greatest strength. And fuck if I'm gonna hide my strength anymore. Fuck that. Fuck shrinking myself to stay in relationships that can't hold me. Fuck sharing my strength with people who take advantage of me. Fuck nonchalance. Fuck playing it cool. These barriers of ego and identity convince us that we are separate, different. I refuse to believe it. This overwhelming grief and loneliness I've felt the last couple weeks is not unique to me. The pain of separation is a universal human experience. This wound was not caused by my ex. It's not his fault. The purpose of romantic relationships is to trigger past hurt so that it can be addressed. bringing us closer to serenity and true love. Love that is deep and requires no validation, available to us through the present moment.
Super pretty swimming hole. I swam over to that waterfall over there. Played mermaid on a rock. I went underwater with my eyes open and I found rocks. I played. It was fun. It was a fun day at the river. I'm glad I came.
Believing there's something inherently wrong with me has led me to carry other people's emotional burdens, accept unacceptable behavior, and avoid true accountability when I hurt somebody or broke their trust. I'm moving forward with the peace of knowing there is nothing wrong with me. I am simply a human being.
Absolutely nothing. The chances I take are based on my own intuition.